thank you so much for coming to the podcast, MENTORSSORI Podcast. Thank you for your time. It's I feel very privileged. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and where you live and what you do?
Hi, I'm Eunice, fondly called Miss Eunice by my children, and in the school community where I work, I am an early childhood educator, a Montessori AMI trained 3 to 6 educator. So I work in the classroom. I also help to manage a Montessori training center. It's a MACT accredited training center in Lagos, Nigeria. And yes, that's what I do.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Sure.
So first of all, you told me before when we spoke earlier that you first studied law. And what inspired you to choose that path? And what did you take away from it?
Right. So I always wanted to be a lawyer, even right from, growing up, it was either, when they ask you what do you want to do, I'll say I want to be either a lawyer or a pilot. But I but I generally enjoy reading. I read a lot. I love words, so it was just natural. I went to the art class, literature, I enjoy reading, cases, so yeah, it was just, a natural thing to do. What I took away from it is just, the way you look at things. You always want to make sure there are no loose ends or anything. It really impacts your thinking. You try to, ensure that whatever you do, there are no loopholes, when you're even dealing with parents, you want everything to be clear, you want everything to be written down, helps with communication and just being very articulate and putting things down and communicating. So definitely the skills gained and just the way you think, I think, and just make sure that there are usually no loop holes in whatever I do and just communicating well, yeah.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much. It is true because sometimes when you're a lawyer, you have to think of every aspect, every detail. So that's really helpful to have that mindset and that skill. That's really wonderful. And what made you decide to move from law into Montessori education?
I know, it's like 2 worlds apart.
Yes.
So my family, I come from a family that is so heavily invested and interested in education. My dad he loves education so much. My mom actually is Montessori trained. She's Montessori trained from 0 to 12, she's AMI trained from 0 to 12. She also has the 12 to 18 orientation certificate. So she has a school that she runs, and when she started the program, all of us just came on board. My 4 siblings, my dad, when she was doing her albums, we all just came on board, so just being exposed. And then when I was in school, whenever I came home, I used to go to her school to help out, just to assist with the children. Sometimes she would make us read her albums and make presentations. So my mom, usually definitely had all the influence, I would say. And of course, just seeing the fact that it works with the children, just seeing how effective it is. I call myself a professional aunt because I have so many, I have 7 nibblings who we also use the method on, and it has worked phenomenally. So I believe in the method, and obviously my mom's school and her exposure to Montessori just, influenced me, yeah.
But still, I mean, just to clarify, because you still was working as a lawyer. So
Yeah.
what was the transition from, so you have a solid foundation in terms of Montessori, you have all this knowledge, but what made you, go through the transition from being a lawyer to a Montessori teacher?
Right. So it's actually a funny story. So I was in between jobs, actually. So I used to work as a legal administrator at a real estate company, and I was in between jobs. I was interviewing with another company, and I had already, before that had been closed, I took some time. I just resigned. I had left work. I had stopped working because I was so sure that was going to come through. And then so I was just at home, and then my dad actually said, this is not a wise way to spend your time. You can't just be at home doing nothing. We're still going out. We're very old and we're still going out to work. So you're going to have to be going to the school to do something. And yeah, so my dad literally kicked me out of the house to go to the school to work. And that was it. But when I went there, I made it clear, hey, I don't work here. I'm just in between jobs. I'm leaving soon. And it's been 8 years.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
really amazing. Sometime in life, that's what happened. It's one door a bit loose and then another door opens.
Absolutely.
It's really amazing. So, I mean, you answered that question earlier, but in what ways has your background in law influenced how you approach education today?
Yeah, so I would say I'm very thorough. I leave no loose ends. I ensure that when I do something, everyone understands, everyone is on the same page. One question I usually ask is, do you understand? Do you follow? Do you want me to say that again? Should I explain again? Do you understand? I like to be sure that everybody knows the expectations, whether it's children, whether it's parents, so I'm quite thorough in my work. I'm very thorough. Even my albums, when I was doing it, when I was in my training, it was really, I really took my time, the precision, just making sure that I followed all the guidelines for our albums to a T, and yeah, my trainer gave me an excellent in my albums, just very thorough in my work, very, very careful, very thorough, and just the way I think and the way I communicate with the children, with my colleagues, and with the parents. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really amazing skill to have. I'm a bit a scatter person, but I do like focus as well. I'm very focused too, and I'm very enthusiastic too. So this is a wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this. And during